8 glasses of water, does it really help to reduce body fat?
Okay, good question. Everyone's always recommending having 8 glasses of water a day when you're on a weight management program.
Yeah.
And it can help you in terms of staying well hydrated and help you stay full longer, so that you're making sure that you're drinking water and not eating. When you feel that sort of perhaps hunger feeling, you might be mistaking it for hunger, but in fact it's thirst. But drinking water by itself does not cause weight loss. You have to actually have a reduction in calories and increase in activity in order to achieve weight loss. So no, water by itself doesn't, but it does help you promote healthier habits. One being not eating it if you're just thirsty. But water is also involved in a lot of functions in our body, and it is involved in the metabolism and in digestion. So having a water environment when you're well hydrated can help all of those functions work better. So it's still a good idea to drink your water, and it's going to also help you stay full.
Okay, perfect.
Feel full.
Gail is calling from Vancouver. Hi, Gail.
Hi.
What's your question?
My question is, I suffer from osteoarthritis, and I want to find out what's a good nutritional program to follow in diet.
Okay, there's lots of different advice out there on arthritis. Arthritis is an inflammatory disease, and so when you're looking at foods to reduce inflammation, you would want to have things that have a little bit less saturated fat, so that would come from animal products. So try to limit your saturated fats from meats and limit cheese intake, but then increase your omega-3 fats that have a sort of anti-inflammatory function. That would be more fish, salmon, halibut, sea bass, trout, mackerel. Those are all good fish to eat with more omega-3 fats, and then nuts and seeds as well. You can also try to have more fiber, but in particular it's the types of fats.
Does how much you weigh also make, if you're overweight, if you're going to suffer the effects more? Does that make a difference? Or
well,
no?
when you have inflammation, and doctors can probably explain this better, but when you have inflammation, more weight, for example, on your knees is going to make it more painful. So if you were able to lose some weight, then possibly you would have less pain from it, but it's not going to make it any better or worse.
Okay. Peter is calling from Vancouver. Hi, Peter.
Hi.
What's your question?
I just want to know, what's the nutrition on Thanksgiving?
What's the nutrition on Thanksgiving? So how good is Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for Christmas, too, our next holiday coming up.
Sure, yeah. A Thanksgiving dinner can actually be a very nutritious meal, and I think it's also something to enjoy in terms of having family around, and so those can always be good times. But turkey is very nutritious. The red meat has a little bit more iron, but also a little bit more fat. The vegetables, of course, are going to be very good, and hopefully lots of people were eating the vegetables and still had those Brussels sprouts. Yeah. You can also enjoy mashed potatoes, but you can try to make them a little bit lower calorie by having some chicken stock mixed in with them rather than having the butter and cream. Other kinds of vegetables or squash would be really good. Cranberry sauce is fantastic, and we know cranberries and their effect on reducing our risk for urinary tract infections. But watch your gravy. Gravy could be potentially high in calories if you're not draining off the fat. And then you can also watch the dessert. If you have your pumpkin pie, you might not want to have whipping cream if you're trying to do a low-calorie meal, but still it can be part of a healthy diet.
Okay, so you just make good choices.
That's right.
Which I never do. Martha's calling from Abbotsford. Hi, Martha.
Hi there.
What's your question for Diana?
I'm nursing my 3-month-old, and he seems to be sensitive to any time I eat dairy. Is this something he's going to grow out of, or is there anything I can do to help him other than avoiding dairy?
What do you mean by sensitive, Martha?
Probably colicky.
Yeah. Well, gets extra poopy and fussy, and he just seems to not react well.
Okay.
Okay, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're going to need to avoid dairy forever, or that your child will have to avoid dairy by any means. But if you do notice that there's significant difference in his stomach and more gassy if you consume dairy products and those kinds of things, and definitely if they're a lot more fussy and it's very obvious that when you remove these things from your diet that your child is feeling better, then by all means eliminate them. Don't stop taking your calcium, though. You'll have to make sure that you're replacing your own calcium, because you do have a lot of calcium that's going into your child for bone development, and that's coming from you. So you need to make sure that you're getting your 1,500 milligrams of calcium per day, either through supplements or fortified soy products like soy milk. But that doesn't mean that you wouldn't want your child to try milk products when he's old enough. So after the 1 year of life, then you can introduce milk and cheese and those kinds of things, and that you should monitor and make sure that he's tolerating that okay. But just because he's fussy now doesn't mean that he's going to be fussy later.
Okay, good. Jim is calling from Burnaby. Hi, Jim.
Hi, I'd like to ask a question about dairy. I'm rather interested, and I've asked this question before, and I haven't received an answer. But I'd like to know about, well, the question goes like this. I'd like to ask about what other animal drinks milk after it's weaned, and what